If you're staring down retirement and it feels like it's coming a little bit more quickly than what you're ready for, I'm right there with you. By my calculations, I'm a little less than 3 years out myself. And it's just me. I don't have anyone to share the income or the expenses. And I decided a couple years ago that it was time for me to make some steps to have some income streams already rolling by the time my first day of retirement comes. And the most important and effective step that I made with that decision was to start a YouTube channel when I was 55. And that was back when I pretty much had no idea what I was doing. And I mean that literally. My first videos were cringy. I don't like to look back at them now. I mean, I talked about nothing. I tried a few different things. I seriously thought about being one of those YouTubers who puts a webcam on your dashboard and drives around and just records what you're seeing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I clearly had no idea when I was starting who I was actually making videos for. I had tried a few other channels previously and they went down in flames, but I wanted to give it one more try and I wanted to start. So I started without really having a plan. And underneath of that, of course, I had my reservations. I was scared I didn't have the right equipment. I was scared I didn't know how to run what I did have. I was scared I didn't have the right microphone that would make me sound okay. I watched the videos of, these really accomplished YouTubers and their setups and everything that was in it, and I thought, I don't have a clue what half of that stuff even is, let alone how to use it. But here's the thing. Thankfully, I started to figure some things out, maybe video by video, maybe one thing at a time. The practicals were things that I could figure out. I've been keeping things simple and I still do. But I still wasn't addressing the problem that I was talking to everybody with my channel. I wanted every video to have something for anybody who had the opportunity to click on it. Cast your net wide, right? No. When nobody feels like the video is made specifically for them, then nobody's going to stick around and actually watch it. And that means nobody's going to come back for the next one either. Thankfully, I think I finally learned that lesson. Now, I'd love for you to stay with me because I think that when I made that realization, that's really the moment that everything changed with my channel. And by the end of this video, I'm going to talk about what I decided to do differently and what that shift has actually led to, which has been pretty surprising. Now, my channel, if you look back, is a little bit different than most. Back in 2019, I had a pretty specific kind of neck surgery, and I decided to sort of chronicle things as I went through that, meaning that I even have some lovely videos of me lying in a hospital bed being all drugged out, but I was still talking about what happened. Then, I didn't post for about 5 years. When I hit 55, I decided to pick it up again and eventually morph into the channel that you're watching now. Which thanks, by the way. But I still keep those neck surgeries up because I see that every single week they're getting views, and pretty much every single week I'm still able to answer questions for people. So it's a value. It doesn't line up with the rest of my channel, but I'm keeping them there. But now that I've established more of a route of helping people who are generally over the age of 40 or 50 to find opportunities to earn more income generally online and generally with a YouTube channel, it took me a while to figure out that that was my approach, that was the audience that I wanted to serve. I kind of had to stop thinking about my age and my life experience at this age as something that I sort of had to ignore and work around. For a long time, I think if I'm being honest, I saw something like being a YouTuber at 55 as being a disadvantage on a platform that seems like the only people who really do well on it are in their 20s. I have since learned that that is completely and 100% untrue. I started thinking of my age and experience as being my true asset. And if you're in this age group like I am, I really want to encourage you to do the same thing. Decades of working, decades of family stuff, decades of figuring out every complication as it's come and sitting through hard decisions and working through things have prepared you to be able to share and encourage and instruct in ways that no 25-year-old could ever dream of doing. Nobody else has lived my life, so nobody else can make videos exactly like I do, and the same is exactly true for you. you're the only one who can share from the exact experience and stories and hardships and victories that you've had. You're the only one that can share, and you're the only one that can share them in such a way that they're going to be able to help other people. So, for that to click, I think two things came into play for me. First of all, I started watching videos differently. I started watching videos of people that maybe had some of the same skill sets that I had and looked at what they were talking about, how they made their videos, how they started out a video, the titles that they ended up using, and just tried to model after their success. Certainly not copying line by line, certainly not mimicking them in every way, but hey, if they have found something that worked, I wanted to try and incorporate those same sorts of things. And second, and I think maybe this is what really ended up moving the needle for me, is that I started watching more videos from people who are in my age group. And thankfully, YouTube is seeing a audience of creators that are over 40, that are over 50, that are over 60 growing every single day. And lots of these people are doing really well. Now, I wasn't watching them as much for like the technical and the practical, like how-to dynamics. I was watching them to see how they were talking to the person who was in the other side of the screen, how they were able to kind of narrow down and figure out who the right person was for them to be listening to and not try to talk to everybody, but target their message to that person. And that's what I started doing, and that's what I still, with every video, work to do. You really have to make videos that serve one specific kind of person and not try to please everybody who might wander in from the algorithm. And when I put together what I learned from watching those two kind of things, that's sort of when things began to click in place for me. And that helped me get more confident in the message that I was sharing and not to worry as much about, I'm still shooting my videos on my phone. Oh my gosh, are you supposed to do that? And I don't know, is it too bright? Is it too dark? I don't know how I even look on camera, let alone how I feel about how I look on camera. I really used to believe that when I had everything right with all the technical back end of things, that things would start to fall into place. I have since learned that that has very little to do with it. I think the best performing video on my channel was me sitting here, kind of talking off the cuff a little bit. I'd forgotten to put my microphone on like a dork, and it was pretty unpolished. When I look at the technical quality of it now, I'm like, how on earth did this ever take off? But it did, and I'm really thankful. I really try to keep in mind that though polish is good, that coming across the right way is good, the ability to connect with who the person is that's watching will always be a whole lot more important. Now, this shift did not happen for me overnight by any stretch. There was still trial and error then, and I'm still making trials and errors now, trust me. But I'm feeling a whole lot more comfortable when I make mistakes in front of the right people. When I talk off the cuff and try to figure things out a little bit more when I'm in front of the right audience. Because I think people might stick around a little bit more when they know that the video that they're watching is actually made for them. That's a whole lot different than feeling like you're making mistakes in front of a video that you're intended that anybody who might actually watch it would stick around because you really want those numbers. And here's the part that might surprise you because it really surprised me. That when all those things started to click, that's when things started taking off a little bit more quickly than I anticipated. And it was way faster than anything that I thought was possible at this stage of life. And that meant that my channel got monetized. And I, for some reason, started hearing about potential brand deals when I had fewer than 5,000 subscribers on the channel. And since I'm making videos that hopefully serve people and help them to move a little farther down on the journey that they're taking, I talk about products that I use too, and so I put affiliate marketing links in my video descriptions because I'm always going to talk about a product that I know and I like and that I think will actually be helpful. I'd always talk about things that I would recommend anyway because the trust that I have with my viewers is way up here in priority. And I started getting a lot of specific questions from my audience that were like maybe a little bit more intense than what I could answer in a video. So I'm a writer by trade. So in December of 2025, I put my first ebook out. And that was the YouTube plan that finally clicked, talking about all the ways that you can earn with a YouTube channel and talking about my experience as I'm walking through all those things. And because I'm getting a whole lot of I don't even know how to get started questions, just a week ago, I put up my second ebook, YouTube 101. And that's built specifically to help the people who were in the spot that I was when I was 55 and just trying to figure this whole thing out. Confused, a little scared, not really having any idea where to start, and all the technical stuff that was in front of me. I wrote it because I needed something like that then, and I really hope that it can be encouraging and helpful for you now if you find yourself in that kind of spot at this point. So, because I decided to start and I decided to learn a little bit with each video and try to improve a little bit with each video, I've ended up with some nice little income streams that are building now and that I know I still have some time to build with until I get to the point of retirement, and then I'll have a whole lot more time to work on them. A monetized channel, money coming in from affiliate links of products that I use and trust and talk about, being able to serve my viewers with the information that comes in the ebooks that I've written, and there might be a couple new income streams that I add on soon as these all continue to build. This has happened in less than 2 years for me. And I am still just trying to kind of figure things out as I go. On top of that, I'm working hard to still keep things as simple as I can. I shoot all my videos on my iPhone. I sit in front of a window to have natural light. The only small investment I've made is this little clip-on mic because I know that having good audio on your videos is super important. This one is from Hollyland. I don't think they make this exact one anymore, but I have linked in the description one that's pretty close to it. I think it has great sound. It's super simple to be able to use with your phone, whether that's an iPhone or an Android. And the last time I checked, I think it was like less than 60 bucks. So if you're looking to get started, this is the one thing I encourage you to invest in. I put a link in the description if you want to check it out. You don't need a complicated setup for YouTube. And I think if you intentionally try to keep things simple like I have, there's a better chance that you're going to start it and keep on doing it if you're not dealing with all the complicated levels of all the tech into things. So here's what I'm hoping you'll walk away with today. I'm excited to be closing in on retirement for lots of reasons, but I'm even more excited to be closing in on retirement with an active YouTube channel that is helping me to bring in some extra income streams that I can even build more on once I get to that point. This YouTube channel has also brought with it an awesome community of people who leave such great comments and ask such great questions and just tell me everything about what they're going through with the process too, and I love all of that. It's given me a platform where I can share the things that I'm learning and hopefully have a chance to encourage all the people who are watching this, including you, as well. And yes, it's brought those income streams. And whether you're on the cusp of retirement or maybe you're already in retirement, this can all be something that you can do as well, really. I get so many comments from people saying, I've been thinking about doing this. Well, I hope you'll start doing a little bit more than just thinking about it. And if you need a little extra help, this YouTube 101 book is really a starter's guide. If you're like, I have no clue how to do any of this, hopefully it can get you from the starting point to where you feel a little bit more comfortable to actually getting some videos up and how to do it on the YouTube end of things too. And if any part of what I've shared today feels or sounds at all like any part of your story, I would really love to hear from you on that. I read all the comments. I don't always get to answer them all, but I read every single comment that comes in. So drop a comment as to where you are on your YouTube journey, whether it's the I'm kind of thinking about doing this stage or here's what I'm doing and here's what's happening. I'd love to really see it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been an encouragement for you that a YouTube channel, once you can figure out how you want to be able to talk to the audience that's right for you and built for you, can bring a lot of opportunity. Hey, I'm Diane Moore. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to do so we can stay in touch. Thanks so much for watching. And YouTube thinks that this is the video that you are really going to enjoy watching next. And I tend to agree. See you in the next one.